Hi everybody, and welcome back to SFNRC for the fourth video that I've put together. Something a little bit different today. We're going to have a look at the unboxing of my first ever 3D printer. This is the Creality Ender 3 Pro. Picked up a bargain, couldn't resist it, and we've been curious to see what the 3D printing's all about for a while now. Really excited to get my hands on one of these. It's a bit like being a kid at Christmas again. I think when I was younger and building models back in the day, the idea that someday you could actually start printing parts at home seems like science fiction to come true for me. So really excited to get into this afternoon. We'll do a quick unboxing just to have a look at the components in there, what you get, and then we'll do some short bits and pieces throughout the build just to show the stages. I've actually already purchased some optional extras for the printer before it's even arrived. So we've got an uprated nozzle here, hot end nozzle with the Capricorn PTFE tubing attached to it already. We've also got the silent motherboard, which I know is an upgrade that's been talked about in some of the videos I've looked about, and is a step forward improvement in terms of print quality and the quiet running of the printer. One other thing I did get for the printer as an upgrade is an alloy double geared extruder. This is an upgrade for the old plastic one that's actually included with the printer. And lastly, I've also bought some uprated bed springs. These should hopefully keep the bed level and stable for a little bit longer than the slightly softer springs that come standard with the printer. Now, there are a lot of other things that you can do to this printer to make the prints of a higher quality, to improve the stability of the printing and so on and so forth. Quite a lot of those are things that you can actually print out, whether they be fan covers or filament guides, etc. And once I've got this thing built and up and running, I'll certainly be having a go at printing some of those out. Really excited to get into this, as I say. So with no more ado, we'll get into the box and we'll see what's inside. Okay guys, so let's get into this box. Let's see what's inside. Let's see what kind of quality we're dealing with here with this printer. It is a budget printer, albeit it's one with a great reputation for producing quality prints, certainly within its price bracket. But I've never had one of these before. I'm really curious to see how well they're made, what the quality of the components are like, and so on and so forth. So without me waffling on anymore, let's get this box open and see what we've got inside. So first off, we've got International Guarantee service card there and a fairly small assembly instructions. I'm hoping this is going to be fairly straightforward to build. I don't know how much of it you've got to put together, I'll be honest, or whether it's partly assembled, which I'm assuming it is. Packaging actually looks really good quality. This is a very sturdy piece of foam packaging we've got on the top. Got some cutouts for some of the parts. So let's get this off and see what we've got inside. Okay, so that's keyed in. So, okay, cool. So we've got some extra bits of foam on here on the packaging to stop everything moving around, keep them safe in the box. Obviously taking a bit of care and a bit of thought with this when they put it together. And at first sight, that's pretty impressive, I've got to say. What we've got in front of us appears to be the print bed and various bits of components packed out around the box. Now, rather than me kind of doing some kind of crazy juggling act and trying to get these parts out and jiggle it around and make space on the bench, I think what I'll do is I'll cut away, I'll unpack everything from the box, get it all put out on the table, and we can have a look at the components individually, and then I can start trying to figure out how on earth I put this thing together. Well, I've extracted all of the parts of the Ender 3 from the box, and I have to say I'm absolutely thrilled with the quality of what I've found in there. It has surpassed my expectations. In fairness, I've not had a printer before, so I didn't really know what to expect. But I have to say these are really good seeming quality components, and I think this thing's going to go together really well. Just to run through the basics of what we've got here, this is the hotbed. This is testing my very limited knowledge, I have to say at this point, but I do know this is the hotbed. It's pre-assembled onto the Y-axis and the main chassis. We've got the board underneath for the main motherboard, the control board underneath, and quite a lot of the wiring is already pre-installed. We've also got alongside that, we've got the hot end nozzle, which is attached by its wiring loom, complete with its 2 cooling fans, and the PTFE tube to feed the filament down. As I said earlier at the start of the video, I've actually already bought Creality's own upgraded heated nozzle with a Capricorn PTFE tube for feeding down the filament. That on its own apparently makes quite a significant difference to the smoothness and the quality of the prints that you get from this out of the box. Moving on, it comes with its own little scraper to help scrape the filament, etc. off the hotbed. And I should actually mention before I go any further that this printer actually comes with a magnetic flexible hotbed sheet. So this literally just peels straight off. You print onto this surface, but once the print is done, you can lift this off, gently flex it to help remove your prints safely and without using mechanical means like a scraper. So a really great touch, and apparently it works really well. It does get quite a grip on this bed, as you can see. I'm quite surprised how grippy it is. Take a little bit of getting used to get that lined up, because once it's going down you can't slide it around, it's well and truly stuck. Moving on, we've then got the alloy components that make up the rest of the frame. This is the top rail that goes over the top, and then we've got the 2 side rails here, up and down, which of course the Z-axis will run. In addition to that, we've got the Z-axis drive shaft here. It comes with a rubber sleeve to keep it protected and stop it galling when it's running inside the side frame, and that needs to get assembled as well. And we'll lock into the Z-axis motor, which again you have to mount yourself with brackets onto the side of the frame. Here we've got the main extruder assembly. This is what feeds the filament down to the hot end that we mentioned earlier on. We've got 2 substantial motors on here. One of these motors drives the belt, which moves the extruder head along the X-axis on a central rail, which is packed up with the top rail we saw earlier on. And the other motor is to power the drive mechanism to feed the filament through and down the Bowden tube to the hot end. This is one area that I've already bought an upgrade for. The majority of this assembly from the factory is plastic, so you've got plastic spring arm, plastic base, etc. And a smooth idler roller. The upgrade I've bought is actually all alloy, so more substantial, less prone to flexing, and includes a toothed or geared idler roller to improve the grip on the filament and help prevent slippage. And it also has an improved Bowden connector to help stop the Bowden tube from slipping in and out and moving around. All of that helps to improve the accuracy of your prints and ensure that you get smooth feed down to your hot end. It's got several nylon rollers on it to allow this to travel up and down the side posts for the Z-axis movement, and it is very substantial. It also includes obviously the stop for the X-axis, the stop switch on the side here. As I say, it's all really well made. I've been quite impressed by how well made the components are in here. Nice thick alloy plates, powder coated to a good standard, heavy nylon rollers with really smooth feeling, what feel like ball bearings in there, and substantive alloy and steel motor assemblies. Moving on, we've also got the additional bracket to allow the main extruder rail to move up and down the Z-axis on the side frames here. That will bolt to the rail, and then we've got the nylon rollers on ball bearings again to allow that free movement. These are all of course adjustable so that you get a nice smooth movement, but without any too much flex or too much movement, which obviously would affect the accuracy of your prints. We've then got the control panel with the LCD screen in there and the control knob for dialing in settings and so on the printer. Again, as I mentioned earlier on, this comes with an uncovered PCB board on the back. So one of the first things I'll be looking to print out once this is up and running is a plastic cover that goes on that. There are numerous files available on Thingiverse, etc., for you to be able to do that. We've then got a bag that's got zip ties, etc., for securing cables, but also a little mini toolkit with some wrenches, some Allen wrenches, spanners, a little screwdriver and so on, so you can assemble the printer yourself. At home, you don't have to have your own tools, they come with the printer. These two components are the mounting for the spools of filament. Sits right on top of the printer when it's assembled, and the filaments just rest on top of that. Last but by no means least, we've got the power supply, which is the upgraded power supply. It's been upgraded from the Ender 3, so the Pro model comes with this slimmer power supply. It's better quality, apparently it's more reliable, gives a good steady voltage and doesn't get as hot, and seems really well made. We've got some filament to get us started. We've got the Z-axis stopper switch in there, which has to be assembled. We've got some more screws, nuts, bolts, etc. for fitting it all together and building it. And then we've also got two power supply cables. It comes with an EU plug, and it also comes with this UK plug, which makes it interchangeable, as I say, because this power supply has dual voltage. You can switch between 115, I think, and 230, depending on where you're using the printer. The instruction manual is fairly small. It looks fairly small, but it is actually really clear. If you fold it out, you can see that it's all colour, very illustrative. You can't beat a picture. Pictures better than 1,000 words very often in terms of how to put things together, and it looks fairly easy to follow. Well, that's it for my video with the unboxing of my new 3D printer. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it interesting and useful. Once I've got this thing together, we'll see what it can do, and I'll put some more videos up of how they come out and how well it prints, etc. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, SFNRC. Please place your comments in the comment section below. It's been great talking to you again, guys. See you all again soon.